Hello students, this is the tutorial class of Module 2. In order to pass this lesson, you have to complete an exercise which will be based on this video you're watching. In this occasion, we'll talk about emails, which is their typical structure and how to write emails with different registers. We'll also analyze some examples. A good email should consist of an appropriate greeting. For example, Dear Peter, Dear Sir, Madam. An introduction, which clearly states the reason you're writing. A main body, in which the subject is developed. A final paragraph, in which you sum up the topic or express your wish for something to be done. And an appropriate ending. If it is informal, it would be yours or best wishes plus your first name. And if it is formal, it would be yours faithfully, for example, plus your full name. Yes, the first name and the surname. Now let's talk about the style in emails. The characteristics of formal style in emails are the greeting. Yes, instead of saying Dear Paul, we'd say Dear Sir, for example. There's frequent use of passive voice. Formal language, that means using complex sentences, non-colloquial English. No abbreviated forms. And the ending is also formal. You'd say yours faithfully, Morena, Calaón, for example. Yes, we use the full name. On the other hand, informal, friendly emails are normally written to relatives, friends, or other people we know very well. A good informal email should be divided into paragraphs, and each paragraph should deal with one aspect of the subject and start with a topic sentence, which gives the main idea of the paragraph. This is the same for formal emails. But the characteristics of informal style in emails are different. The greeting, for example, is simpler. Dear Alex or Dear Dad is enough. The style and the language used is informal. That means that idioms and colloquial English are accepted. We can use abbreviated forms. We can even omit pronouns. And the ending is also different. We can say yours, love, best wishes, regards, and the first name is enough. Now let's see some examples. This is a formal email. In this case, it's an email giving advice. It starts with a greeting, a formal greeting because it uses the word Miss, which is the polite way of speaking to a young woman, plus her surname and a comma. This is different in Spanish. In Spanish, we should write a colon, not a comma. As translators, it's your duty to know in depth and respect the Spanish language, so pay attention to that. Then the first paragraph is about the reason for writing. In this case, it is to give advice. The following paragraph, the main body, develops the subject and gives suggestions. Pay attention to the linkers. Also, furthermore, the latter is formal, but you could use also in informal emails too. The last paragraph, the concluding paragraph, expresses the writer's hopes and wishes. And finally, we can see the ending. Formal ending. You won't say yours faithfully to a close friend. And again, the comma. In Spanish, we'd write a full stop here. And the full name, first name plus surname. Let's give a look at an example of an informal email now. It starts with a greeting, an informal greeting because it just says Dear Anne and David, no surnames here, plus a comma. Then the first paragraph is about the reason for writing. In this case, it is to invite Anne and David to a party. The following paragraphs, the main body, develop the subject and give some indications. The last paragraph, the concluding paragraph, expresses the writer's hopes. And finally, we can see the ending, an informal ending. It says love. It could also be regards, yours, and again the comma, plus the first name, or in this case, names, because it's Bill and Laura. Pay attention to all the contractions, a characteristic of informal writing only. Well, that's all for now. In order to pass this lesson, you have to write 2 emails, one formal and the other informal, following the specifications given. If you have any doubt, please ask me. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Have a nice week.